everybody? Welcome back to the Hero Club podcast. This week, we have special guest Amiah Simmons. Amiah, we are so excited to have you on today. Amiah plays basketball for Alabama A&M University, and so we can't wait to hear kind of about your experience there and what it's been like transferring to play at an HBCU, what it's like playing at an HBCU, and more just about your background and your family. So, real quick, just to kick us off, can you just tell us a little bit about who you are and your background?
Yeah, so I'm a sophomore here at Alabama A&M. I'm from Kansas, and I transferred from Biola University, which is a Division II school in California. Um, yeah.
Really cool. What about kind of your high school? How'd you get into basketball? All that kind of stuff?
I first started playing basketball in fourth grade on like an organized team, and my dad was my coach. So he really is the one that motivates me and really like drove my passion for the game. And then I just fell in love with it and I just kept working hard. I would do 30 minutes of ball handling every single day. And it started off as a challenge. My dad had the whole team do it for 30 days. And then if you made the 30 days, you go to 60, 90. And I just kept going. I just couldn't stop. And I went for 200 days in a row. So that's where I really like developed my skills. And then ever since then, yep.
Yeah,
Love it. That's awesome. So you played a bunch of sports growing up, volleyball, track, basketball, three-sport athlete. Was basketball just like always your favorite, or like what made you choose between, like what made you stick to basketball and say I really want to keep sticking to that?
Yeah, I just had a love for basketball. Like the other sports were fun. Volleyball is too girly for me. Track track was cool, but like I didn't want to just go to practice to run. So I just like basketball because of how aggressive it is and just having like the freedom to play and create your own shot and everything. So
What position did you play in volleyball?
I played setter and then my senior year I was a hitter,
Okay.
outside hitter.
So I feel like being a hitter would be pretty fun, like just get to spike the ball in people's faces, but I can see the setter being a little more boring.
Yeah,
Well, not
setter.
boring, but I get the aggressive side of what you were talking about. I totally get that. What'd you run in track?
I ran hurdles, so that was my main
Ooh.
thing, the 100-meter hurdles, and I did pretty good at that, state and everything. Um, yeah, at one point in my senior year, I was like the third fastest in the state.
Wow,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
awesome.
So you're a big jumper. You obviously basketball, but then you were the hitter and you did hurdles. So
Is
what's your vertical? How high are you getting?
I don't know my vertical. I haven't tested in a while.
We'll have to get back to that. You'll have to get back to us on that one. I'm interested now.
I I gotta know. Well, okay, so I know I can't say I've ever really been to like a track meet before, but well, maybe I have. I don't know. But do people always fall? Like, is that really common that people like trip and fall on the hurdles?
Hurdles, yes, especially the 300 hurdles because they're spread
Just
out
get,
a little more, but like the last 100 meters
just
is
get
hard.
exhausted.
Yeah, and people will fall over those last couple ones.
I can see that for sure. Because
I'd be
I know everybody hits them in general, but like, I feel like especially in high school track, like you got some people face planting every now and then.
Yeah.
Yeah. All
That's
the
awesome.
videos you see on Instagram, just people they hit one wrong hurdle and just that's
Yeah.
it. Game over.
Oh, that's great. Is it a penalty if you hit one and keep going?
Mm-mm. Like the goal is to stay as low as you can when you're jumping over a hurdle.
Right.
So like I always hit my knee, like my trail leg would always smack the hurdle. It's
Hmm.
not good. But
Well,
no,
I guess better your trail leg than your front one.
yeah.
I always kind of wonder, does it slow you down that much if you hit a hurdle? Because theoretically, couldn't you just kind of keep running through them all? Because they fall forwards with you. So
They
like,
do. I mean, it depends on how low you are. Like if you just skin it, it don't really affect you. But if you hit it really hard, yeah,
okay.
it could trip you up.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
awesome.
I was never a runner. I played football, so I max out at 100 yards. Anything past that, don't do it.
Yeah.
You're never running 100 yards in game, I hope.
No,
Not in his own, not as an O lineman, at least.
absolutely not. Yeah, no, I would. It's about 3 yards that I would move, and then if it was downfield, then the running back's faster than me anyways. So I'm not
It's just
catching
a
up.
slight jog.
Yeah, you got to make it look like you're blocking somebody, or at least like going towards somebody.
Yep.
But well, Maya, you're from Kansas. Are there what was it like growing up in small town Kansas, and then now I mean, you went out to California. Now you're here in Huntsville, Alabama, another booming city. So what's it like, kind of making that transition from a small town to a big place?
I mean, the transition from Kansas to California was probably the biggest because, like, out in LA, I mean, I was outside of LA, but like LA, Hollywood, there was always a lot going on. I liked it though because being from a small town, it's like not much to do, very calm, slow, but like LA was very fast and everything. But
Mm.
here in Huntsville, like, there's not much going on, so it's kind of similar to Kansas,
Yeah,
but I don't mind it. I kind of like it.
I
So.
got you. So do you prefer like the LA hustle and bustle, or do you prefer the slower Kansas? What do you think?
Um, I don't know. I just adapt to like any situation I'm in. So like, yes, when I got here, I was like, dang, I kind of missed that. But at the same time, it's comfortable, I guess I could say.
Yeah, really cool. What what kind of made you decide to leave LA and to come back to the other side of the US?
Yeah, so I didn't really know where I wanted to go, but my main focus was just playing Division 1 basketball, and I just didn't look back. Like I didn't think of like any other factors, which is why coming here was definitely a culture shock for me. But yeah, so I really just wanted to play Division 1. But I did love LA and everything, the atmosphere. But yeah, basketball was bigger for me.
What's been some of the bigger differences like so Alabama A&M is an HBCU. So what's some of the biggest differences between your previous school and Alabama A&M being at an HBCU, but also basketball wise, like D2 versus D1? Is there a big jump there and practice, games, all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, so at first, I mean, I didn't think the competition was a bigger difference, but it's definitely more fast paced. I think and being at a HBCU in the SWAC, like everyone's athletic, everyone can jump, it's fast. So back in Biola, it wasn't really, it was more skills and like other ways you had to try to win. But
Technique, all that kind of stuff.
right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't discredit my Division 2 because there was still really talented players that went overseas that I played against and everything.
Yeah.
So, but also I would say Division 1, there's like extra practices, extra way more hours in the gym than Division 2.
Mm.
You have more free time. So here, I mean, that's what I wanted. It's very focused on basketball here.
What's your major? What are you studying at Alabama A&M?
Psychology.
Awesome. So what do you want to do? What's your dream?
My dream is to play professional basketball. I thought about getting into sports psychology, so like being at like a university and being a psychologist for a basketball team. That's kind of my dream. I just want to stay around the sport.
Yeah. I feel that for sure, especially coming from a washed up college baseball player. I totally get it. I'm doing sports management, so I'm kind of similar. Like I just want to whatever it is, I want to stay in the sport, especially with what we've been doing now and hometown heroes and stuff. It's been perfect for me. So I get that for sure.
Right.
Yeah. Super cool. What has kind of been your favorite part about playing for an HBCU?
I would definitely say like the environment. There's just so many fans that come for the women's games, and I'm like, wow, I did not expect this. And even people will come up to me and they're like, your guys' games were way more interesting than the men's team, and like you guys should play after them. And I'm like, oh my gosh, they really do they love watching women's basketball. Yeah, and then also the alums, they all come and support. They really pack it out. So
Yeah.
it's been
That's awesome.
fun this year.
What's y'all's men's basketball team like? Are they pretty good as well?
Oh yeah, they're kind of the middle. I think they're fourth or fifth in conference right now.
Okay. I saw something the other day, and I don't. You might not be allowed to talk about this. The cheerleader that got like kicked out of their game. What was that?
Yeah, so
It was out of the men's game?
Yeah.
Yeah, the cheerleader came on the court and like pushed one of our men's players.
Yeah.
And I'm actually friends with him. He didn't know why, like just out of the blue. So
Yeah. Well, I saw there was like a clip. I saw
Weird.
the play before it. The cheerleader like went over to do like some kind of move, and
she was like, she hit him.
yeah, she hit him during the move. So I don't know if like maybe she thought he got in her way on purpose or like what happened. But then the next time down the court, like she just came out and there was a foul, so it was a dead ball. And this cheerleader just shoves this basketball player.
Yeah.
And I was like,
What?
what just happened?
That's wild.
She got
Okay.
rejected too.
I
Yeah.
was thinking more like off the court beef. Like they had some stuff going on in like their personal life or something. She just like decided to come out and deal with it. But that makes more sense. That
But
makes
it
more
was like
sense.
it was the
That's still
away.
wild though.
Yeah. What was it was a different team's home court and it was like the other
Mhm.
team's cheerleader.
Oh,
Like Alabama
okay. I
A&M
was
was the away
thinking,
team.
okay, I was thinking Alabama A&M cheerleader.
No.
No,
Okay. Yeah, I totally missed this story, I guess. But
No.
yeah.
I
that's still wild. That's crazy.
saw it and I
Yeah,
was like,
and then
go
it
ahead.
really blew up. I saw it all over Twitter. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. I think I was like scrolling through TikTok and I was like, what?
Really? It was on TikTok.
Yeah. It was everywhere.
I guess
So everything's on TikTok.
I'm behind on the social media wave, I guess then.
Yeah. Come on, Brett. Golly.
I'm trying.
Ah.
Well, on the more on the section of NIL, you've been killing it. Had a lot of opportunities. What's been some of your favorite stuff about NIL, and like tell us a little about maybe favorite deal you've done or something, or just in general, like what has NIL done and meant for you and this whole process of did you have a lot of NIL in California or
No, it definitely grew when I got here. I feel like
yeah,
being a Division One athlete.
for sure.
Yeah, I think it's a great opportunity. We have NIL now because college athletes work so hard and really get nothing. So it's a good opportunity, and there's a lot of businesses out there that want to work with college athletes. So I really like Moolah Kicks because it's like directly for female basketball players. So I really like that one. And then um, what is my other one? I did a teeth whitening one, which I really liked. And so it was kind of just like things that I already like in my daily life. And then I'm able to work with these businesses. And I like never thought I would be able to do something like that. So
Yeah, that's super cool. The Moolah Kicks one was definitely awesome. They for those of you guys listening that don't know, Moolah Kicks is like one of the only women's basketball shoe brands that like makes basketball shoes for specifically for women's feet. So I guess you can attest to this. Did you always just buy like men's basketball shoe in your size?
yes, and that's what we still do here for our basketball shoes that the school gives us. So
Yeah. Can you tell a big difference in Moolah Kicks' shoes and like how it fits your foot and all that kind of stuff?
yes, I definitely do. They're more narrow and they like form to your feet, and they are
Yeah.
really.
That's awesome.
That's
That's really
interesting.
cool.
Kind of on the subject of NIL, obviously social media and following plays in a lot to that. You're sitting right below the 45,000 follower mark on Instagram. How did you kind of grow to that presence? How did you get 45,000 followers?
Really, it's just from me posting, and a couple of my basketball pictures have blown up from like the explore page. So that's how people really found me. Yeah, and I feel like the most important thing on social media is just to be authentic and be yourself, and people will follow you just for who you are. So,
Yeah,
yeah, you always want to be true to yourself, and I
yeah,
just continue to do that.
I'm
super
sure
cool.
it's helped too that you've lived on like every side of the country now.
Yeah.
People following you from everywhere. That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, now you're getting all these awards and people are mentioning you all over the place. I saw you won the conference player of the week I think, was it last week? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're blowing up all over the place. So, congratulations for that. I'm sure that's only helping things out too.
Thank you.
Oh, well, really cool. So you've been playing in college for this is your just your second year now, but what has been your favorite part about getting to play, I guess now D1 basketball? Because that was that your dream growing up?
Yes, it's always been my dream. And like when it finally came true, I just had to sit back and like, wow, this is really here. Before trying to make new goals, just really living in the moment and like, wow, like you accomplished this. So really just I would say the recognition and like you don't realize like how other people look at you, like, wow, like you really did that. I wish I could do that. And I might just be like, oh, I'm just playing basketball, what I always do, but it really is something special and you can inspire others. And like that's what I want to do. Inspire like the younger children and the girls I teach basketball lessons to, like the way that they look at me. I just want to be a good influence for them.
Yeah.
It's awesome. That's really cool. Do you have a favorite basketball memory from college specifically, or growing up, or just like what's your all-time favorite? Like, I did that.
Ooh, I would say last year when we had beat our rivals, Azusa Pacific, and they were number one in the conference, and it was a big game. It was a home game. We had lost to them earlier in the season, and we all just played as a team. And that was like the most people that had came out to our game, and it was a tough win, but we did it, and it was really exciting.
That's really cool.
Awesome. Well, that's great. Congratulations for that. But we we all have like people that we look up to whenever we're, whether that be in sports or whatever that may look like. So who's kind of your hero that you look up to?
Would you say like a basketball player or just like anyone?
Just in general. So who's your hero?
Family, basketball player, whatever it may be.
I would say my dad because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. He really motivated me like and taught me what it is to work hard and like people don't realize like the main thing is working hard. It doesn't matter your limitations and everything. So he really pushed me and I'm really grateful for that. So he's definitely my hero.
Yeah. Super cool.
That's awesome.
Well, what
On
about
top
in
of
the
that,
basketball realm? Who's a basketball player that you look up to?
that's what I was
I
gonna
like
ask.
I like Kelsey Plum. I really don't watch that much basketball, but my coach here, she told me, she was like, I want you to watch Kelsey Plum. And so I started watching her and like she's really dominant. She's about my size, a lefty. And they just won. They just won it all. She plays for the Aces. And so I just love her confidence on the court and the way she's just not afraid and just takes it all the way to the hole and everything. So
Do you have a favorite professional sports team in any sports, basketball? Yeah, or just favorite sport to watch or anything?
favorite sports team has to be the Chiefs, and they just was. So me and my other friend from Kansas.
Wow. Okay.
Yes, we were going crazy. So wish we could be home, go to the parade and everything. I went 3 years ago. But yeah, so definitely the Chiefs all the way.
All right. So I gotta ask, what's your unbiased opinion on the last call, the holding call?
Everyone wants to say that we're cheaters. It is what it is. Like,
Oh, I don't blame that on the Chiefs. If anything, it's the ref. But I just want to know if you thought it was holding or not.
I think it's fair. What happened?
I agree. Just curious. Had to ask.
Yeah. No,
That was a great game though.
That was awesome. You got to be down
And
there
I
for the
was,
parade
I
3 years
mean,
ago?
sorry, what'd you say, Mike?
Three years ago, Maya, you got to go to the parade down there?
Yes, I did. Me, my dad, and sister, we woke up at like, I don't know, 2 a.m. to drive there. And we were so early and we were just sitting in the cold. It was a great experience,
It's
though.
got to be worth it. You never know.
It
Never
was.
know when your team might not win it again. I know, being a Falcons fan, we've been hardly chugging along since our last Super Bowl run. Ever since then, it seemed to all fall down from there. But hey, we might get Lamar Jackson. So
I was about to say you got the rumors for Lamar right now. So
that's right.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be huge.
Yeah,
that would be huge.
Who knows? We'll see. Amaya, you have any other teams outside WNBA, NBA, anything like that?
Definitely a KU fan. Always
Okay.
been a KU fan. So I still root for the boys there.
All right. They're looking pretty good. How you feeling about the March Madness tournament this year? What are you thinking?
What for them for KU?
Yeah, for KU. I think they're number 5 right now.
I
So
think I think they're gonna do good. Um, I think Grady's pretty talented. I have a couple of friends on the team. I think they'll pull it through. They got a
okay.
chance.
Yeah. I'm excited to see it. I'm up here at Alabama, so I'm really hoping that maybe this can be our year. We'll see.
Yeah.
We look solid. We beat Georgia the other day, so
We don't have to talk about that.
that's fine. We can leave it there.
That was
It
you know, we're not going to discuss that.
was like 108 to 54 or something like that. It was rough.
It's all right. We're defending national champions. 2 for 2 football. We'll hold that title.
Give it to you.
Yeah.
So, well, really cool. Amiah, that is really all that we have for you today. Thank you so much for coming on, and we really enjoyed kind of getting to know you a little bit. Do you have any questions for us before we head out?
No, thank you so much for having me. I'm happy
Yeah.
that we could do this.
Yeah, absolutely. We're so glad you got to come on. So, anyways, for all of our listeners, thank you for tuning in, for listening to this episode. Amiah, again, just thank you for coming on and giving us your time. And for those of you listening, coming up on our next episode, we will have one of our agents come on here and talk about his experience in NIL and what he's been able to accomplish, / what he is working on and different things like that. So we look forward to it, and we'll see y'all next week.